So good morning, students. So far we had discussed about the various kind of properties of CSS, that means the cascading style sheet. We understood what is font property, what is text property, and yes, we have also understood how to use the margin and the outline and the border and the background properties of CSS. Now it's time to understand box model. Yes, the very crucial, the very important and very basic model we use while creating the CSS and creating the HTML web pages. So we use the box model as the basic parameter of creating any kind of web page. Why I'm saying that it is a kind of parameter, or you can say a standard, because it includes four types of properties. Which properties? Content, padding, border, and margin. That means if we are applying the box model in our web page, that means we are going to use the content, padding, border, and margin properties simultaneously. If we are using these properties simultaneously, that means our web page will follow the box model property. So if someone will ask you what is the box model property and what is its significances, then your answer will be that it uses the four types of property. Which kind of property? Content, padding, border, and margin. And it is the very basic, or you can say the standard step while creating any kind of web page when you are using the CSS. So I am revising this box model again. So all HTML can be considered as boxes. Yes, we understood that in HTML that every elements can be considered as boxes because they occupies the space in your web page. And in CSS, the term box model is used when we are talking about design and layout. So whenever we are concerning about the design and the layout portion of our web page, then we will use the CSS box model. So the CSS box model is essentially a box that wraps around every HTML element. Mark my point, students. So box model wraps around every HTML element. That means whatever the elements we are using of HTML, it will wrap around. Wrap around means that it will cover that element. So it consists of margins, borders, padding, and the actual content. Actual content means if you are using the paragraph, then your actual content will be the paragraph. If you are using the heading, then your actual content will be heading. So I hope that you have understood what is the box model. Now we are going to start, but before starting that, I will like to tell you what is the content. Content is what? The actual element we are going to use. Padding. What do you mean by the padding? Padding means the space. It means the area around the content. How much area our content is taking will be known as the padding. And border, yes, we had done the border. Border is a kind of line that goes around to the padding and content. Okay. And yes, the last element of box model is margin. Yes, margin also decide an area outside the border. That means from outside the border, how much amount of space it is going to use. So this is about the box model. Now we will going to understand it in the practical manner also. So let's start. Still students are joining the class. That's why I am revising the concept before going to start the practical portion. But now it's time to start the practical portion, otherwise our class time will be end. So let's start. So for doing that, I need to write the HTML first. Okay. Here it is. HTML. Then I need to start the head tag, in which I'm going to use title, and title I'm giving CSS box model. And here I am closing this title. Now our CSS coding will start. We have to write type and in double quotes text /CSS. Okay, Here our style sheet has been opened. Now we will write the H1 here as a selector according to your book. So here we will give the background color. So cyan will be good. And then I'm going to give its width, let's say 300 pixels. And then we will start combining all these properties. First, we are going to start from border. So I am giving border here as let's say 20 pixels. 20 pixels, yes, it will be right. And dotted. Okay. Dotted blue means that its color will be the blue and it will be referred as the dotted. Then I'm going to mention the padding, and I'm giving the padding to, let's say, for understanding, 100 pixels. And then I'm going to give margin, yes, margin to 30 pixels. So we will see how our web page will look alike. Now I am ending the style tag here. After ending the style tag, I will end the head also. Now I'm going to start body. In body, I need to mention the H1 because I have chosen this H1 as my selector. So now I will do it. Center. Say today is Thursday. That's enough. So I will close first center. Then I will close my bold tag. And then I will close my H1 tag. Okay. Now, if you want to apply any kind of paragraph, then you can also start it from P tag. Now we will write for this the CSS box model. Coding. Okay. Now I will end the body and then end the HTML tag. So now after writing this code, I will press Ctrl S. Then it will ask me the name, and I am giving the name as model.html. Okay, and then I will save it as all files. Now we will see the output. So here is our box model.html. Yes, so see the output. It is looking so good indeed. Why I'm saying that it is looking good? Because here you can see the margin, the padding, and the content itself. Now see the coding first. Let's minimize it accordingly. Okay, so this is our coding. Here you can see the background color to cyan. Yes, the background color is cyan. Width is 300 pixels. Width means it is covering the area of 300 pixels only. The border is about 20 pixel dotted blue. Yes, 20 pixels dotted blue. Padding is 100 pixel. Padding is what? This. Okay. And then if we will talk about the margin, margin is taking about the 30 pixels. So content के बाद आपका padding आता है, ठीक है? So this is our content. Today is Thursday. Then it is taking the 100 pixels area. Okay. And if you will talk about the margin, that means it clears an area outside the border. Border के बाहर होता है margin. Margin यानी कि 30 pixels इधर से, 30 pixels का size यहाँ से, and it is from this side also, and this is, you can see the 30 pixels here. So margin will work outside from the border. Here is our border, and from border it will take the 30 pixels. Okay, from right, left, top, and bottom. So I hope that you have understood this. So after understanding that coding, now we will do one more coding of that box model. So here the title will be same, the style tag will be same, and our selector will also be same as H1. Now we are going to use the background color as light gray. Okay, and then I am giving its pixel to 800 pixels. That means how much area it will cover in our web page. And yes, 20 pixels. Dotted blue, maybe not. 10 pixel will be great. And padding 250, so we can understand the difference. And let's say margin will be 20 only. Okay, so now you can see the difference. Okay, here you can see the difference. When I have changed the coding, you can see the difference. I have given the width to 800 pixel. Here is the width to 800 pixel. Border 10 pixels, dotted blue. Border 10 pixels. Now you can see that sizes of the size of dots has been changed, and it is decreased to the 10 pixel. That means the half of the previous output. And here you can see the padding 50 pixels. Padding the area around the content. Okay. And here you can see the margin out, that means the outside of the border. Here is the space taken by the outside of the border is the 20 pixels. Okay, so here you can understand here, and you can also differentiate between the different parameters and different values of pixels. Okay, so now the next thing you will understand is float properties. So let's start it. So our next topic is about float properties. So first we need to understand what is float properties. So the float property specifies the position or alignment of the content around each other. That means whenever we are going to use some other element simultaneously, supposingly I'm using the photo, the image with my text, then how will that image will look alike? How will that be placed in my screen? Or let's take another example. You will be using the as a video, any kind of the paragraph, two paragraphs simultaneously, then how these paragraph will look and how these paragraph will be set in your computer system, in your web page. So this is known as the float property. So it sets the content around each other so that they cannot collide. Okay, so for preventing the collision between the elements, we use the float properties. Okay, so let's start the float properties. But float property can have the following values. That means the left, right, inherit, and none. So left, as the name suggests, the element float to the left of its container. Right means that it will float to the right of its container, and none, that means it will not float. It will be as default, by default, that means. And yes, the inherit means the elements, whatever we are going to use, will inherit from its previous element. So let's start. So first, we need to write these formalities. So I need to start writing the HTML tag. After that, I will mention my head. In head, I'm going to give the title, and my title will be into a book, world environment. And one more interesting fact, the very personal fact indeed. And on World Environment Day, this is my birthday also. That means the 5 June. Anyways, that was the personal thing. And now I will write the style type is equals to CS text CSS. Okay. Now we will select image as our selector, and I'm going to paste it as a left float, and then I will close it. Now I will start my body section. In body, giving the H1 as world environment day. So this is a very big thing. Then I am also applying it as a center, so it look good. Okay. So now I'm going to write paragraph, and for pasting the image you need to start the img tag, in which you have to specify the source from where it will paste the picture. So then you need to write the src equals to in the double quotes. In the double quotes you have to mention the path, the complete path from where it will take the photo. Okay, so for example, is my screen is visible to everyone, students? Please give me a consent if my screen is visible. Okay then. So for example, I need to paste a photo, and then here is the picture. Okay, lps.png. What I need to do is I will right click on it. We'll go for the properties. Here is the exact location, as you can see on your screen. I will paste this location in my coding here. Okay, so this will be its location, and now I will press, or I will include the backslash. Okay, and in which I need to mention its name with its extension. So its name is lps, and you can see that its extension is .png. That means it's which type of photo? It's png type of photo. So okay, then I need to mention it. I will close it now. So this will paste my photo in my web page. Okay, once again I'm repeating the step. You need to write the img for image. You need to write the src for source, that means from where it will take the photo or the picture. In the double quotes you need to mention the exact location of that picture, and then after mentioning the exact location you need to press this backslash, mark my point, backslash. Okay, and then you need to write the name of the picture with its extension. Okay, so this will paste the picture in your web page. Now we can write about the World Environment Day. Let's say I'm writing celebrated on the 5th June, that means on my birthday. Every year, and is the United Nations principal vehicle for encouraging awareness and action for the promotion of our environment. Okay, supposedly I'm writing this much in my paragraph, so I'm ending this here. Now I will close the body tag here, HTML. So let's give me a very interesting tag here, mark Q, Leal Public School, Bikaner, celebrating the World Environment Day. Okay, then I'm going to save it and then we'll run. So here is my documents. Here is the float. Now we'll see the output. Here you can see the output. I have pasted my image in this left area, and here you can see the paragraph. If you will copy paste the paragraph or lengthy paragraph, then you will see the output difference. So I am just taking the text context here. Let's say, then I will copy paste it. I will copy paste this matter so we can identify in much detailed manner. And I'm going to copy this. Okay, now you can see the output. Okay, so is it still very less in the proportion of this image? So if I'm giving the right here, and let's see the output. Here you can see the difference. Okay, so how we want to place our photo, our property with the, some other property, so it will be done by the float property. So this is how we have understood the float property in detail. So I'm hoping that everyone has understood the float property.